The last thing you should do, especially when you're picking out a new bank, is go ahead and actually pick out a bank just because it's close to your home or it's convenient for you. That's the absolute worst thing you could do. Instead, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to be able to pick out the right banks and also how to make sure that the banks are actually lending you money so you can be able to go ahead and get the most funding possible and be very strategic in your bank sequence. What's going on, guys? Your boy All Boo. In today's video, I got another banger for you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to be able to audit the bank to see exactly which banks in your area give out the most money and how you can be able to go ahead and make sure that they compete to give you the best money possible. And also for you to be able to know how to leverage each bank so they can be able to go ahead and compete to go ahead and give you money. Banks are in business just like anybody else, and they're actually in one of the biggest businesses in the financial sector in the whole entire world. So you definitely want to make sure before you go in and walk into a bank, you know exactly their criteria and you also know what they're looking for. So before we get into this video, go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe below and get your boy to 10K subscribers as soon as possible. Your boy's on the road to 10K. We need to hit 10K as soon as possible so more people can get put onto game and also be able to go ahead and implement it for them and their loved ones. So let's get into it right now. So whenever you go ahead and try to get funded, right, there's so many different banks out there, and you have to be very, very strategic on how you actually are accomplishing your funding sequence. And also before you walk into a bank, and you absolutely don't want to go ahead and walk into a bank without knowing exactly, the only people that walk into a bank without knowing anything about the bank, how much they're lending, or even what the requirements they're looking for are absolute rookies. You don't want to be a rookie whatsoever. Instead, you want to be more of a seasoned professional who's more like a sniper. You want to know before you even walk into that bank what their lending criteria is. Have they lended a lot in the past? What's the best quarter that they can actually lend to? And also knowing all these different factors among with which credit bureau they pull from. And that's going to help you know if you're going to get approved before you even walk into a bank rather than being a rookie and just simply shooting in the dark. So that's really why I want to walk you guys through exactly how to find the best banks in your area. And it's a secret sauce that a lot of people, especially in the funding game, have been using to get their clients high limits. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. So as you guys can see, right, we have a couple of different things on this actual board, right? So on the top of it right here, we have how to find the best banks in your area. Now, when my dad first came to America, right, literally the only reason he opened up an account with the bank, because my uncle at the time actually lived near a Bank of America. And so that's the only bank he actually knew. And so he ended up going ahead and opening an account with them. Now, he actually stayed with Bank of America for over 15 years. Now, this is the thing, though. A lot of times when people go ahead and walk into a bank, it's usually because that bank is close to their vicinity or it's very convenient to them, or they even have a friend that told them that the bank is very good to them. To be honest, that's really not how a seasoned business professional should think, because so if you walk into a bank, right, you have to understand that us as consumers, we have the power. We have the power because we actually have the money. And without consumers, banks would be nothing. So you want to be able to make sure you do your research before you walk into a bank. So that way you can be able to go and get a $10,000 to $15,000 credit card approval versus a $2,000 to $3,000 credit limit. That's the difference between doing your research before you walk into a bank. So right here, the worst thing you can do, right, is of course walk into a bank blindly. And like I mentioned, this is literally what rookies do. Rookies will walk into any type of bank and praying that they get money, not knowing that the banks actually need them in order to be able to go ahead and actually survive. So that's why you don't want to go ahead and walk into a bank blindly. Instead, you always want to go and audit the banks. So you want to audit the banks. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, bro, I didn't go to college, or I didn't do any of this, right? But that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, right, is auditing the bank is as simple as looking at how much deposits they have versus how much assets they have. And that's literally all it is. You'll be able to tell exactly how much lending that the bank has done based off of the assets and also the liabilities that they actually have. And that's all it is as far as auditing the bank. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. It's literally that simple. So after we know, before we go into another bank, we have to audit the bank. Then what really we have to do is go to iBanknet. Now, here's a secret sauce that a lot of people won't tell you. If you go to this website right here will literally show you every single bank in the whole entire country, and also will tell you where it ranks based off of how much lending they're doing and also how much deposits they're having. Because of the banking industry being such a regulated industry, all the information that the banks keep on how much clients they have, how many different accounts they're opening, and also how much lending they're doing is public knowledge. So that's why you have to utilize it to your advantage. So the first thing you should do is go to ibanknet.com. This is literally the place that you want to look at. So as you can see, I have a screenshot of ibanknet.com. And so literally what you can do is it'll show you all these different states, right? And you can go ahead and actually click on your state, and this will show you all the different banks that it has listed. So the first step, right, is going to be, and so it's literally has all the different banks. It also has banks, holding companies, federal saving banks, and also credit unions. So all of these are literally going to be listed on this website. It's literally it's absolutely crazy. Now, what you want to do, right, the first step is you want to go and actually go to your state or your area. So that's going to be the first step, because this is going to show you all the different banks, and they're actually rated based off of the amount of deposits and also the amount of assets, right? So after you go and actually choose out the state, the second step is to choose between credit unions or banks. Even when I speak to a lot of clients, right, I usually tell them the first thing you want to do, especially with the funding sequence, is you want to go ahead and start off with your banks first, and then you want to go to your credit unions, because banks are a lot more strict compared to credit unions. So credit unions don't have as strict as policies as banks do for their underwriting. So you want to go ahead and actually apply for banks first, and then you want to apply for credit unions, because credit unions are a lot easier to be able to get approved, because they actually treat you like a shareholder and not just another number. So you always want to make sure to go to banks first and then credit unions. So the third step really is going to be able to audit the banks by deposits and assets. Now, like I mentioned, auditing the bank is really not that hard at all. So whenever you go to ibanknet.com and you click on banks, this is literally how it's going to be structured, right? So it has it numbered from 1, 2, 3, all the way to the different types of banks. And you can see right here that it has the name of the bank. Of course, JP Morgan is the biggest bank in the country, so that's going to be ranked number 1. Now, this is just leading banks overall. It's not by state or anything in particular. So you definitely want to go ahead and make sure to click on your state to see exactly which of the top banks in your state. Now, really what they do, right, is they break it down between deposits and also assets. Now, this is actually in the thousands, right? So it's going to be in the thousands. So JP Morgan Chase has about $3.6 trillion of assets under management, right? So $3.6 trillion, not billion, not million, 3.6 trillion. And you can see they're the biggest bank by far in the country. So how it works, right, is it goes by deposits and also assets. You might be a little confused because you're thinking to yourself, wait, what are assets and what are deposits? So it's a really great question, because as you can see over here, it doesn't necessarily go by deposits, right? So as you can see over here, right, I have it broken down for you guys. And so really deposits at the bank are more of their liabilities. So this is actually the money that customers are actually putting into the bank. And now it's a liability because of the fact that the banks actually have to go ahead and give it back to the customer. So they don't actually have it into their assets. It's more of the fact that it shows how much money the bank has available to lend. Because based off of the rules of the banking system, the banks can actually lend up to 90% of their overall total reserve. So if you deposit $1,000 into the bank, they can actually lend out $9,000. Now, after COVID, it ended up going to 0% as far as reserves. That's a topic for a different day. But as far as deposits, right, that's literally all it is a liability that the banks have. So assets shows how the bank will generate money, right? So assets are going to be loans, lines of credit, anything that they actually lend out is going to be assets, because the banks lend it out at an interest rate. So that's actually how they make money. So you want to be able to go ahead and actually see the assets, and that's why you'll see the more assets the bank has, the more lending capability they actually have, and also most likely the bigger the bank is. So with the assets, right, it shows the bank's size and lending capacity, and it includes everything as far as the bank controls. So that's exactly why you have assets here. And as you can see, there's a lot of different banks, right? But so, for example, you have Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo right here actually has more deposits, but Citibank is actually ranked number 3, while Wells Fargo is rated number 4. Now, the reason is because of the fact that Citibank actually has more assets than Wells Fargo. Even though Wells Fargo's deposits are more, Citibank actually beats them because they have more assets, which are actually going to be able to helpful. So Wells Fargo actually has more liabilities, but the fact that they have more liabilities doesn't make them bigger. What makes Citibank bigger is that it has more assets compared to Wells Fargo. So the banks aren't ranked based off of how big their deposits are, but rather how big their assets are, because that's ultimately going to determine how much they can actually lend to. So that's why you want to definitely keep in mind. You want to keep in mind the difference between assets and also deposits. So I told you guys, it's a lot easier than you expected as far as being able to go in and audit the bank. So you want to make sure that whatever bank you end up choosing, that they actually do lend out a good amount of money, or they have the capacity to be able to lend out more and more money. Because you'll see that some banks are very, very conservative in how much they lend. So instead of you getting a $5,000 credit card, they'll automatically just give you a $1,000 credit card. And at the end of the day, why would you ever go to a bank that will give you a $1,000 credit card if you can literally drive down the street and go ahead and get a $5,000 or $10,000 credit card from a whole different bank? You have to realize the power lies in us being the consumer, and without us, they can't even make any money. So you definitely have to understand that before you walk into a bank, start begging for money. So we don't beg at all. We actually know our worth. That's why we're going to go to the banks that actually take us seriously and give us the money that we actually deserve. And the fourth step is you literally want to go ahead and make a list of the top 10 banks based off of the highest assets, not deposits. You don't want to make them based off of the deposits. You literally want to make them based off of the assets, because assets are literally going to be able to tell you how much of a capacity they're able to go ahead and lend. I highly recommend you get 10 banks and you choose between all of them, because not every single bank is going to be right for you based off of if you want personal accounts or if you want business accounts. So just go ahead and get a list of 10 and definitely go ahead and start to line them down. And now if you can't find 10, just go down the list and find another 10. So that's going to be the best bet, especially if you have other banks that don't qualify. So after you go ahead and actually find out your top 10 banks, right, that actually do lend out the most amount of money, what you'll do next is literally you're going to go ahead and the fifth step is to reach out to every single one of these banks individually. So I want you to go ahead and pick up the phone, actually call these banks, because a lot of times I really don't know why people are scared to call the bank, but they're honestly just people just like you. And once I realized this, that everybody's trying to make some money. The bankers, everybody in America is literally trying to make some money. The bankers want to make money. They're not worried about you calling and asking them, or hey, how much is the highest limits you've seen anybody get approved? What's the qualification metrics? What's the requirements? The bankers are there to be able to assist you. So don't be scared to ever call a bank. Just go ahead and reach out and pick up the phone. They literally are employed to be able to help you out. And they also make money from helping other people out by opening up an accounts or even applying for credit cards. So you want to go ahead and make sure to reach out to every single bank, right? And ask them, which credit bureau do you guys pull from? You definitely want to be smooth, right? You don't want to sound like a scammer or any of that sort, right? You want to make sure when you're talking to these banks, you're very professional and you're asking them just because you want to be able to go ahead and apply. So that's really going to be able to be helpful as far as figuring out which credit bureau they pull from. So after the list of the 10, right, each quarter, what I really want you guys to do is to go ahead and pick out 3 banks that pull from Experian, and 3 banks that pull from Equifax, and 3 banks that pull from TransUnion. So whenever you go ahead and find out your list, break them down into exactly which credit bureau that they pull from. So now you actually have 9 different banks that are the highest lending banks in your area, and they all pull from 3 different credit bureaus. So whenever you go ahead and start applying for these credit accounts, you'll get only 3 hard inquiries per bureau. So you'll be able to go ahead and potentially get approved for 9 different credit accounts just by using 3 hard inquiries per bureau. Now I'll walk you guys through exactly how to be able to apply and also how to be able to run this play step by step in future videos. However, this is really the video I wanted to go and talk about today as far as figuring out exactly which banks are the highest lending banks in your area, how to find the best banks, and also be able to figure out which credit bureau these banks pull from. So that way, whenever you go to your next funding sequence, you know exactly where to go and what to do. Now I know this video is another banger. Go ahead and make sure you guys subscribe and tap that bell notifications below to get updated on all these videos that we're dropping, and dropping as much game as possible for you guys. We're the best financial literacy channel out there, man. Nobody's coming harder than us. And like always, I'll see you at the top, my boy.